Swing it a drive. Get up, ball, get out of here. And grand slam for Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
History on the diamond last night. Guerrero Jr. recorded 3 home runs, including a grand slam to help the Jays beat the Nationals 9-5. Vladdy became the youngest player in MLB history to record 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. From one big game to another for the Jays, their $150 million man, George Springer, will be making his debut tonight. He spoke to the media before the game about why he didn't rush his debut after getting injured.
I just had to trust myself. Obviously, I don't want to hurt myself again. This hasn't been fun to want to not be able to play.
Over the line, the shot, here they score!
And on Wednesday, there was a big step forward for women's hockey. The National Women's Hockey League didn't just talk the talk, they walked the walk and continued to invest in women's hockey. The league announced they are doubling the salary cap from $150,000 to $300,000 for each team.
And just to think, we didn't even really have a season. We played, 9 games? A whole total of 9 games. And it's crazy that we got so much exposure and so much sponsorships coming in a year that we didn't even play that much. So you can only imagine what's going to happen next year, the year after that. It's going to be crazy to see the growth.
3-on-2. Back to Matthews. Backhand rebound. Scores.
In the NHL, 6 teams have clinched postseason berths, and tonight the Leafs could become the first team in the North Division to clinch a spot. Now stick with me. Here are the scenarios of how it could be done. If the Leafs beat the Habs and the Senators beat the Canucks in regulation, or if the Leafs beat the Habs in overtime tonight and the Senators beat the Canucks in regulation, and the Oilers and Jets game ends in regulation, boom, the Leafs clinched a playoff spot.
James now in the paint.
The Raptors had a disappointing game against the Nets on Tuesday night and sit half a game back of the final play-in tournament spot. There was some good news out of the Raptors franchise. On Wednesday, the team signed Freddie Gillespie to a 2-year deal. WNBA training camp started this week. Hamilton's Kia Nurse adjusting to her new team, the Phoenix Mercury, after being traded in the offseason from the New York Liberty.
Well, I'm pumped. I'm really excited to get the season going. And obviously, every single time that we get to have the opportunity to go out and practice together, that's just as great as being in a game together. 2
of Kia's Team Canada teammates, Natalia, Chanwa, and Bridget Carlton, are both repping the Minnesota Lynx this season after Natalie signed with them in the offseason. And of course, being the Canadians they are, they had nothing but nice things to say about each other in training camp.
Just the leadership she brings, and, her basketball IQ is just off the charts. So, anytime you can bring someone like that onto a team, onto a roster, it, immediately has an impact and helps us so much.
She's a big guard. We always joke, big guard, post up, just the range of her game and her confidence in herself. But being in an environment like this feeds into that. And she's putting in the work to have that confidence.
For City News, I'm Lindsay Dunn.